Hi you guys, welcome back to another video. It is Shamira. Before I started filming this video, I was starting to feel like, are you guys getting tired of these? Because I feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over and over again. I review mostly the same procedures, the same surgeries, kind of the same deliveries over and over and over again. So I don't know if you guys are just like, do something else at this point because it's pretty much the same thing. Let me know if you guys are just like, we don't need to see another day in our life. But I'm going to do one today because I need to get a video up for tonight. Today's video is going to be a day in the life of a medical coder. I picked up my glasses yesterday, guys, my new glasses. Are they cute? I think they're cute. Right now, I am reading a colposcopy with cervical biopsy and ECC, and I'm getting ready to code that. So let me read through here. And then I just have to check and see if pathology is in, and it is. Okay, so I didn't get a diagnosis from pathology, so we're gonna go with the diagnosis the provider chose. And I'm gonna send this one out. And I have two more, but those were done yesterday, so pathology will not be in for those. So I'm going to skip over those and move on to my next thing I have. Let me see if I have any outpatient surgeries to review. Okay, so I only have two. No, I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 13. I have 13 outpatient surgeries to review, and then I have 2 surgeries at an ambulatory surgical center. So I'm going to review these 2 and see what we have here. I have to check and see if a resident was on. And the patient is coming in for sterilization. She either wants to get her tubes fulgurated or tied. Were there any post-op days? No, so I don't have to worry about adding any of the 99024s after we do this surgery. And again, there is no resident. So that's good. I can go ahead and read the op note. All right, and this is going to be a laparoscopic vulgaration. Okay, and in here they have diagnostic laparoscopy was carried out and a normal uterus and bilateral fallopian tubes and ovaries were visualized. The upper and lower abdominal pelvis was grossly normal in appearance with no evidence of endometriosis or adhesion seen. So a diagnostic laparoscopy is included in this procedure, so we would not bill that separate. We did not remove them, but we burned them. So we are going to be looking at 5, 8, 6, 70 for my CPT code. And my diagnosis code is Z30.2. Okay, vaginal instruments were removed and the catheter was noted to be draining small amounts of clear urine, which is a good sign. That is it. That is all for that one. Do I wanna? Here, I'll write these down so that way I can show you guys. The codes from my book so I don't have to keep moving my camera. Okay. Next up, what do we have? We have an incomplete abortion. And the patient was admitted to the surgical center with known missed abortion with 2 centimeters intrauterine sac. Presents for D&E related to a missed abortion with 2 centimeters intrauterine sac. Okay, so she didn't have any bleeding. So we are going to be looking at 59820 for showing no signs and symptoms, and it was confirmed on the ultrasound. And my diagnosis is for missed abortion. Yep, 9 weeks. So we are good to go. Oh, let me look for a resident. No resident, so we're good. Okay, I actually have an outpatient E&M. So let's see what we can do with this one. Okay, why is the patient here? Status post a fall. Oh, when did this happen? Okay, so because this is an outpatient charge, I'm going to be using my outpatient E&M auditing tool. And you have to get 2 out of the 3. So if I have one here, and then one over here, my level is going to be a 214, because if I circle something here and then I meet something here, but then the medical decision making is low, I still can bill this because I meet 2 out of the 3 columns. So let's see what we get out of this. Okay, so we did an NST for 20 minutes. That was reactive. So I can bill for that. And because this was done at the hospital, we are going to use modifier 26 for the professional component. The hospital will be billing for the NST for the technical side. So if you're familiar with modifier TC and 26, the 26 you use for the physician, and then the hospital would report it with a TC, I believe, because we don't own the equipment, the hospital does. And then what E&M am I going to use? Okay, so we did do quite a few labs. So I'm going to give her ordering of each unique test and then review of the results. And since we only need 2, one self-limited minor problem. Because there is no injury, so I don't want to say one acute uncomplicated illness or injury. This is tough. Do I think it's minimal or do I think it's low? Let me look at my other E&M audit tool to help me. So for minimal, it's one self-limited or minor problem. We have lab tests, which we did, rest, gargle, elastic bandages, and superficial dressings. If it was low, we would have given over-the-counter drugs, minor surgery with no identified risk factors, physical therapy, occupational therapy, and IV without additives. So that is what they give us on my E&M audit tool, and we didn't do any of that. So I'm gonna go with minimal, a 212 with my 59025. And I'm gonna need a 25 on that E&M because we have a procedure on the same day, and my diagnosis code is going to be, we use a specific one for when the patient is in for a fall and there's no injury. So where is that? I think it's like Z03, maybe 79. Oh, dang it. I'm in my new book and I did not write it down. It's still in my old book. So Z. Yes, Z0379. Encounter for other suspected maternal and fetal conditions ruled out. Okay. Now, I don't think that's going to be a cross-link for my NST, but I hope and pray it gets paid. Let me see. It is, yay. Okay, we're good. Oh, we have another one. And I have to make sure that my midwife did the entire note and not a resident, because if a resident does the note, I cannot use their documentation because midwives are not physicians, or teaching physicians, I should say. So they can't bill like they are one and say, I agree with their documentation. They have to document their own, and she did, but I don't think it's going to be enough. She assessed the patient. They're feeling much better, would like to go home. We did send a prescription, but I don't even have a diagnosis. Damn it. See, like this time we have a prescription drug given, so that will be in the moderate range, but she doesn't even give me a diagnosis. Let me see what my coworker would do. Should I take diagnoses from resident? Okay. So I'm gonna see what she thinks. And I just got done saying we can't use their documentation. So I wonder if this will be okay. Well, we did give Zofran. So if we look up, and it looks like the patient was here for nausea and pregnancy. So Zofran is something given for nausea, so I guess maybe we can stretch it. Okay. I said patient seen for nausea and pregnancy, so could I use the Zofran to help pick my diagnosis? So she agreed. We can't use the resident's documentation or their chief complaint. This is not going to be billable. And actually, I don't even think she billed for it. My coworker found it and dropped the charge for me to review the note, because whenever we do a delivery, we go back and we see if she was in the hospital at all for like labor hall visits or in triage, and then we drop charges for them so that we can review. And it's just like a dummy code that we drop, so that way that person can go in, read the note. Is there an E&M that needs to be billed or not? And in this case, no, because her documentation is not good enough. So I can't bill anything. And I have to look for my diagnoses for nausea. And it doesn't say that she's vomiting. So 09981 with R11O. All right, so that was easy. Do we have another? This time, a different midwife. She says that she saw, that she saw the patient independently with the resident and evaluated the patient, discussed the plan, and she agrees with their documentation. That is what a physician or a teaching physician would say in order to bill for this entire note. Midwives cannot say that and bill for it. So because that's all she said, let me look through the note and see if she documented anything. She did not. So this is all done by the resident. So that is another no charge. Man, it seems like as soon as I get ready to do E&Ms with you guys, I don't bill anything. Hang on, what was that patient we just did? Oh, wait, I think I have her in here. Let me see what it says. Because sometimes she'll do the NST on a separate note. So let me go back and see if she did that. Here. No, she didn't. Okay. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss a charge my damn self. All right, we're good. And then back on this one, what did the patient come in for? Decreased fetal movement in her 3rd trimester. And let me go down to see if she might have did the NST. She did not. So no charge. Next, we have another one. Okay, can we bill for this one? Different patient in for decreased fetal movement. And okay, she did the entire note. Yay. And we have an NST that she did. We have time on and time off. We have that it is reactive. So that's good. So because she reviewed, or I should say interpreted, this NST, that is going to give us independent interpretation of a test for category 2 underneath moderate, or in the moderate column or row underneath data and complexity. Oh, we did a prescription too. So we have a prescription for her rash that she has on the abdomen and on her extremities. How do you say that? Pruritus? My diagnoses. Pruritus. Pruritis. No. Let me look it up in my book and stop trying to cheat. PR. And it was on her abdomen and her extremities. So that would be specified but not elsewhere classified. So I have to go over to L29.8, and then I have to get the O code for this L code, and that is going to be in the 099. K, and then there's L, and this is going to be 0,99713 for a disease of skin and subcutaneous tissue complicating the pregnancy and the 3rd trimester. And let me link her LMP and her weeks of gestation and moderate. I do not bill for the NST because it tells us independent interpretation of a test performed by another physician or qualified healthcare professional, not separately reported. So I cannot bill for the NST separate. But it does say performed by another physician or qualified healthcare professional. So if somebody else did the NST, and I think she just documented it, because if I click on it and I go to, where is it? What did she say the baseline was? She said it was 135. And if I go there, which one of these? None of them. Dagnabbit. Okay, so because it says performed by another physician, and she clearly did it, so I can't use that. Okay, so I can do ordering of a test, and she reviewed the test. Did we review prior external notes? Does not say that. So we have to back it up and use the review and the ordering. Let me see. Oh, but was that thing new? Patient being worked up for. Okay, so we have one chronic stable illness. The itching is something that's new. Okay, so because I can't use the independent interpretation of a test, she actually ordered it and reviewed it. So I can't bill for that since it says performed by another physician, and she did it. So what I went with was, and now I'm gonna put a 26 on the NST, a 25 on my E&M, and this is Gateway. So they get a U9. Yes, they do. They get a U9 modifier per our MA crosswalk. And I'm also going to add this cholestasis of pregnancy. Oh, we have another one. And this time the patient is here for extended monitoring. And she was seen at the office, had an NST due to chronic hypertension. The NST was reactive, but a few variable decelerations were noted. And she also has gestational diabetes, diet controlled, had abdominal cramping. So our NST we did in the triage was reactive, but we don't have time on and time off, so can't bill for the NST. Okay, so we have 2 stable chronic conditions. She said that the NST was reactive. Oh yeah, she had a C-section done, and it was low transverse. So that's 034 to 11. Gateway, so I need the U9. And we do not need a 25 or 26 modifier because we are not billing for the NST. So this one looks good to go. So we have 2 more to do. Let me see if we can bill for them. Okay, so this one we can bill for. She did the entire note. And why is she here? To rule out preeclampsia. Okay, so proteinuria was detected yesterday, so that is why they are ruling out preeclampsia. They offered to induce her, but she declined, has an appointment coming up. If blood pressure elevated, then she should be back for delivery. And this, again, is going to be a new problem. We did offer to induce the patient, so I'm kind of leaning towards moderate for the risk. Okay, so we did do labs, and she said they were reviewed. So ordered and reviewed. Now it's just a matter if I should do a 4 or a 3. Okay, so I'm going to go with an acute uncomplicated illness on this one. And we're going to do a 213. And the insurance is a commercial insurance, so we don't have to worry about adding any additional modifiers. Okay, and then my last one that I have to review, my last E&M, can I bill for it? Okay. So she's saying that she reviewed the NST, but where? Fingers crossed. No, she did not. Nope, can't bill for it. And why was this patient here? Decreased fetal movement. Okay. So I just reviewed a total laparoscopic vaginal hysterectomy, and this uterus was over 600 grams. So you see right here in the center here, it says you will use these range of codes for uterus greater than 250 grams. And the provider also removed like I think it was 3 or 4 fibroids because it was too hard to get everything out at once. So we had to cut it up into like 3 or 4 sections to remove the uterus and the fibroids. So I was kind of questioning like, could I bill for the removal of those fibroids separate? And in my CPT book, and actually in this one, it tells me to do not report these codes in conjunction with these other codes. And the other codes that I was looking at, so let me show you my CPT book. So I'm going to be looking at this 58573 because we did remove the tubes, and it says do not report 58545 or 58546 and then these other codes, because this is what that 45 is: laparoscopic surgical myomectomy, excision of 1 or 4 intramural myomas, and the patient actually does have intramural myomas, and it's already telling me not to report that. So I don't even have to ask anyone because all I had to do was to read myself, and it tells me do not do that. So this one, I think we had 3 of them too. So this one would have been for 1 to 4, and then you have 5 or more. And I wanted to see if my AMA, if this book here would tell me like if there's an NCCI edit for those. So I'm going to go to 58573, 58573, and I'm going to look for 58545. 58545. There is a 1 here. So it's telling me what the 1 means is a modifier is accepted for these 2 codes in order to bill them. But my book says not to. Oh my gosh. Do you see how confusing this is? Like, they literally told me not to, and now they want to tell me, oh, you can use one of the X modifiers. Okay, so I reviewed it with my team, and we agreed to only go with 58573 because he had to remove the fibroids in order to get the uterus out. So because the purpose for the surgery was to remove the uterus, whatever he had to do to get it out would be included. So I'm not billing the 58545 or 46. And I'm going to write a note to myself in here. Okay, this is what I have. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to end this video here. I'm not sure how long it is. Hopefully it is close to my 30-minute range. And yeah, let me know if you guys want me to keep doing these day in the life. This one was a little bit different. I did do E&Ms this time instead of doing all like deliveries and procedures of like IUDs, neck blood insertions, circumcisions, all that stuff. If you guys like that stuff, let me know and I'll keep doing them. But sometimes I feel like you guys are gonna be like, oh my gosh, we already know how to code this stuff. And I don't do any other specialties. So this is what I do every single day. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.